listening to the podcast To Be Single or Not to Be by Shanna Montana, a podcast where we talk about the single life, dating, and relationships so you can make a decision at the end of each episode and decide to be single or not to be. That is the final question.
So today's topic is the fantasy of love versus reality. And I really feel like this topic will be very fitting to close out the season of the podcast because, well, let's stop there. Everybody give us a round of applause. Season 3, so awesome, so excited. We'll get more into that later. So I really felt like this topic will be very fitting to close out the season because no matter how many times we talk about what love looks like and what it really feels like, some people tend to still be confused. So I figured, why not take a really close look at love and talk about what's real and what's not? And to do this, you all know I had to bring in some guests who can add some spice to our life and help me dive into the topic at hand. So for this episode, we have some people who are getting their podcast cherry pop. And yeah, up first we have Miss Joy, who is from Chicago, but currently living in Nashville. Say hi to the listeners.
Hello, listeners.
Look, welcome. And up next, she's so sexy. And up next, we have Miss Tiffany, who is a Mississippi girl, home state. Yes, and she currently lives in Nashville. So say hello to the listeners.
Hi.
Look, she's waving like y'all can see her. All right. And then up next, we have some people, y'all haven't talked to them before. Up first, we have Nikki. Say hello again.
What's good, everybody?
Welcome back. And last but not least, we have the one and only Bully Experience.
Skibbity-doo-bop-bop.
You know, I know that's right.
Scabby.
I'm with you when you're right. So we're going to get right into it, y'all. We got a lot of good stuff, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. We got to talk about it because love is crazy out here. It's 2021. Outside is back open. You know. So we want to make sure that we are guiding I was going to say our ladies, but just our listeners. We're guiding y'all in the right direction. So I'm going to start by saying, you know, recently, y'all, I read somewhere that love is a spiritual journey because it is a constant shedding of the illusion of what it should be. And I'm saying it slow so y'all can think about it, the illusion, because we know that some motherfuckers are delusional.
Absolutely.
Right to it. And, you know, the illusion of love that we all grew up with, you know, it's been fed to us through music, through movies, through media, you know, that 90s R&B love where you had Keith Sweat begging, you had Jodeci talking about come and talk to me, but down the road we found out they wasn't shit either, you know. But love is just not always happening the way that we think it, think it should or think it should look like. So this is all the more reason why we have to clear up this lie that the fantasy of love is always the reality that we know it to be, because it's just so not true. So I want to pose this to you all, and whoever feels free, you know, don't all go at once. I want to ask y'all a very simple question, yet a loaded question. Do you personally think that love is worth the fight or the energy? The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, everything in between. Like, is it worth it to you? Because, you know, like when you are living your best single life, you just living life. You are not worried about anybody but yourself. But when you sign up for love, you know, love can feel good, but it can also feel bad at times. So, you know, do y'all think it's really like, is it all that? Is it worth it? Everybody in the room like got their face like a
loaded question.
I have something to say, but I don't know.
You want to wait?
I want to wait.
Say it. Just kick off the conversation.
It may turn
you gotta lean
hard left. Hard left.
Come on, hard left.
Well, I think the first, since we're talking about disillusions and the, you know, all of this fantasy is that we specifically associate in love romantically.
Okay.
And love is love.
Yeah.
period. So like to really be realistic or be practical about what love is, you have to realize that love is a thing regardless of it being romantic, being in friendship, being in parental.
Yeah.
You know, love is a certain thing regardless of what relationship you put it in.
Yeah, regardless of what's attached to.
Yeah. So like love is a certain thing by itself. So in the simple answer, I would say it's worth it, because love, if you just put that sentence, it is worth it, because you talking about friendship love, you talking about, you know, familial love, you're talking about these things. Like it is worth it. It is, you know, God, it's all kinds of different love.
Yeah.
But with these niggas, sometimes even Jesus went to the New Testament and started loving people from a distance. Sometimes you gotta love these people from a distance.
Yeah, this is true.
That's my vote.
But did you answer the question?
I did.
She did. She said you gotta.
Yeah, love is
in a lot of
worth it.
aspects, but sometimes you gotta love
With these
Through
niggas.
the heart. Through the heart.
You gotta love from a distance with some of these men.
Yeah. Not with you when you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On this. I will say that it can be worth it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like a hard battle to be, to have love. Because some people think that we got to go through hell and high water to make sure we proving ourselves that we really love each other. And I'm not doing that.
Not to struggle, love.
But I will. The kind of fight I would do is the fight to support you and your growth, the same as mine. For us to overcome challenges together, but not that we are like drag out fighting, cussing each other out all the time. That to me is not a love that I want, because it's disruptive to whatever I had going on as a single person.
Right.
So I will say that the natural evolution of people who are occupying the same space, sure, I'll fight for that. But you coming in here bringing the bullshit, I'm not.
You want to love that. A love like this. You want to love that.
I don't want fantasy love, because I have an understanding that as people, we grow and we change differently.
Yeah.
But so I'm realistic in that, not saying that love is going to be happy all the time, but it doesn't have to be hell.
Chaotic all the time.
That's not worth it to me.
A love that's worth the love. Love that's worth the love.
And I agree with that, because I think when we think of love in those relationships, it's not tangible, it's not measurable, right? But you feel it. You know, when it feels good, it's great. But when it's not, you're like, I'm getting out of here. Like this ain't it. You know. But again, you don't have to drag me. Yeah. But consistency, your language, your words, your actions, those all are love languages. Yeah. So it doesn't change how I feel or how I'm going to act. But I know when I'm in and when you're in, and when we're out, we're just out. Yeah. But no love is lost. That's just how I see it. You know,
I like that. I like that. What would you say from Mississippi?
I think it is worth the fight, but it has to be a foundation there first.
Tell us more.
Because you, like everybody says, you get the illusion of love, and then when the hard times come, I'm out. Because you haven't really built anything. Versus if I build a friendship with you, I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly of you as a single person, as us getting to know each other. So therefore, if I see you having a hard day, I can be supportive. If you see me having a hard day, you can be supportive. And that's what's going to make your love grow stronger versus you not having that foundation. And then when shit hits the fan, I'm out.
Yeah. I think, and that comes down, I think sometimes people just moving too fast, because I think for the first time in my life, probably in my 30s, was when I realized, like, when people talk about the foundation of a friendship, that's true. And it's connected. Like, you have that friendship while you're dating, but you're also dating, so you understand what it is. But you have to take your time in that, because we know love, lust, all that, it runs together. And you will look up in 3 months, you're talking about this my boo, but you don't really know nothing about that person. So I think, you don't know nothing. And so that's when you kind of run. What you say?
I said, you will not stick beside me.
My man.
Not my man. I wouldn't know a thing. I wouldn't know a thing.
So I think when you get in those situations where you have not stood on that foundation, that's when love is crazy. And if it's crazy in the beginning, it can be hard to say it's worth the fight. But I do think that love is worth the fight. I think ultimately, this goes back to one of the episodes this season, it comes down to like trying your best. It may not always work this way, but trying your best and also finding a person that is a good fit for you. A lot of times, and I've talked about this a lot, people just are not the right fit. You're not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, but we just are not each other's person. Like we met at a party. We both were drunk. We thought we was in love. And the next day we wake up, we not in love. Like it's
right. And that's cool. It's okay.
It's cool. Go on. I wish you well.
But that's love too, because I love you enough to say this ain't gonna work.
No, you're right. No, you're
right. Yeah. It goes back to the friendship, the foundation.
Yeah.
Even if it is the one night or whatever. All right, I love myself enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I think we have to be able to tap into that and just recognize that love, I think, is worth the fight, but it seems sometimes it's not worth the fight if you're with the wrong person in the wrong situation. And it seems like everything is hard. I think that's something people have to look at when everything is hard, every situation you are fighting, like, everything, I don't understand. Like I'm trying to fix my words wise. I know somebody. I know somebody that they in a situation where them and they man just always into it. Like, what the fuck are y'all? All right, what y'all is? It ain't that much stuff going on.
Exactly.
Outside just open.
Yeah.
Just.
We are man to be into it. Like, I don't get it. So I'm gonna leave that right there. So I don't say too much.
But I mean, is that even love?
Yeah, that motherfuckers ain't. Let me shut up.
That's love.
I don't think to see that's something.
I don't think that's love. I think that's
probably that fantasy. That's probably that fantasy part of it.
That you have been with a person and you have fantasized this life that you want to create, and none of the variables have aligned for that life to be created, but you are still holding on to this fantasy of what this situation or relationship should look like or could be.
That is true. Because that's a real thing. You think about what it could be. You look at the potential in somebody instead of what's being presented in front of you.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I just don't think love can be interpreted.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think people be like, oh, but it's love to us. Like, no, like love is love. Like,
I hate it's our situation. Oh,
our kind of love.
Show y'all happy ass up. They show love. You and the devil created that love. No, that kind of stuff is not, I think, left up to interpretation. Yeah. I think anybody doing that, they know it's fucked up.
Right.
And they're like,
they're trying to explain.
Yeah, explain it away.
Or they're trying to prove their
get you to agree.
Yeah, we're gonna fix this.
Yeah.
So society can look at it a certain way. But that's a deadly thing. The fantasy is attached to some potential. And that's something I'm gonna dive into season 4. I ain't got the time tonight. But potential, y'all know all season I had an issue with that word.
Potential.
But somebody has made me like see it like potential. Let me a little snippet into season 4. So potential is something I look at now that can be explained in different ways. Like I can say that, this person works at this place and they make X amount of money. And I feel like, they don't make enough for me to hold on to the potential that they're going to make more money. However, I could say that this is a person that is, say we are in a relationship full blown, we're doing well, but we have a hiccup. And somebody says like, so how do you think your relationship is going with so-and-so? And I say like, it's going well. Like, how do you think? And they say like, well, maybe how do you think it's going to go down the road? I think that it's going well. And I think that it has the potential to blossom into marriage or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think that's a different context that I understand there's more things behind it to say like, I can stand more firmly on this potential. I'm not potentially saying he's going to go from cashier to manager at Kroger. I'm saying that we are in a relationship and we have the potential to go from a relationship to marriage. So I think that I'm learning, because I used to be like potential was just this one black and white word across the board. And it's like, yeah, but you got to add context to each situation. So I'm not going to say that I'm 100% a fan of the word, but yeah, I'm still not a fan of the Kroger cashier becoming the manager. Good luck to you if you're out there listening. Just not for me,
But the difference is between the two that you describe is the potential, like from the relationship to change from us being together to marriage.
Yeah,
is you yourself have to add to that for it to happen versus
I'm a part of that.
Relying on him to go ahead and just
take that GED class.
Okay, and make it do what it do. You know,
I like
so that's a difference.
Yeah, like relying on somebody else or what you're doing solely yourself. Because it's kind of like I rollerblade. I'm not the best rollerblader, but I have the potential to be. But it comes down to like me putting that work in versus if I had a teacher. So y'all gossiping about over there.
I just know a lot of Kroger's cashiers and managers because there's a fast track MIT program, manager in training. So I just don't offend anybody out here.
Moving on. No offense to anybody. Disclaimer: I am all for equal opportunity employers. Potential of y'all.
Now security in Kroger's to managers.
That's another story.
Now they don't transition.
All right, so moving on again. So I want to ask you all this. This is another loaded question. Yeah. Before we get into the meat of the show, I just wanted to put this out there. We got to close the season. Crazy. So, do you enjoy life more being with a partner or without one? And let me ask for context before y'all go. Everybody will smack their teeth. A group smack their teeth. Hold on. So, context. I do understand that life is beautiful when you are single. As being single is not a disease. I've been single for 86 years.
Me too.
Right. So let's say in the past, I'm not saying I'm single present day. I want to get a disclaimer for somebody.
You get whooped.
I'm not trying to get my hand out. So I'm going to make sure I'm saying past tense. However, I challenge you all to really think about this and answer honestly, like, is life more enjoyable with or without a partner?
I'm gonna just say this, and this is probably not the best answer. It's enjoyable when you have a partner because you're not paying for everything that you're experiencing. And that's just that is my truth. Yes. So yes, I enjoy going places with the girls. I enjoy going places solo as well. But when you have a partner that you can enjoy and try new things with, it heightens the relational experience.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to be there forever or not, it feels good.
Yeah.
And you can, it heightens whatever you're working towards.
And it heightens your pockets to not.
Yeah. That too. No, I was really leaning towards more sexual drive because
tell us about that.
But when you're experiencing new things with a partner, that's, to me, the sexual drive is it goes up.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, okay, we're enjoying things together for the first time. Or, these are new challenges or new things being presented. That's where my mind
I agree.
going.
I think when you are hanging out more, you are.
When you're on vacation, the sex is amazing.
Yeah.
I ain't never been on no vacation.
I don't know where you were going with that.
No, you're fine. You went. I'm right behind. What you mean, right? Mm-hmm. What would y'all say over here?
I think both.
Okay.
And I say that because when you're single, you're young, you're, living by the seat of your pants, you're trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to being in a relationship, you know who you are and you know who you are giving yourself to that person.
Yeah.
And I think you can enjoy both, but it's just in different seasons. Like when you're younger or when you're learning yourself what you like, what you don't like, whether it's mentally, physically, sexually, financially, or whatever. But when you are transitioning, looking into a relationship, because let's be real, we ain't gonna stay spring chickens forever, and you're going to want to have that person.
This is what we need visually.
Right. But I think like when you get older, you do want to have that person like you can, come home and talk to or go on vacations with, or just, just have those moments where you can just look at somebody like, oh, I really love your ugly ass.
Yeah,
But
right.
and I think it's a transition with life. Different seasons of singleness can transpire into, me growing as a grown woman, knowing what I want, knowing what I want in a man.
Yeah.
And therefore, that's who I am in a relationship.
Yeah. I think when you get older, it leans towards that, because I think I lean towards, for me, just life is enjoyable, yes, as a single woman, but also partnered. But the fact of being able to, I guess I want to be just very clear that I've done things in life as a single person: vacations, traveling, experiencing new restaurants, new things, new adventures. But to add another person onto that, it does add this different element that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think long term, like you said, we are all 21 at heart. Mm-hmm. But I think when I look long term, I want a partner. I want somebody there, that. And I think right now, it's tough to say. I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's like it's more enjoyable, but I do enjoy it. It adds a different element of fun, put it that way, because y'all know I can have fun by my damn self.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But when I bring,
and
I bring somebody on board, we have fun with our friends, love everybody the same. But when you bring a man on board, it adds another element of that fun. So that's like how I look at it. What do you think?
Yeah. And it kind of relates to what the two of you said, because I enjoy my time with myself.
Right.
And, because you go through the process of learning making sure you know how to have fun by yourself or with your friends or things like that, to where a partner isn't a necessity,
right?
But it's something that you desire, you want. And so I know that it would be bomb to have somebody who want to go and do stupid shit with me, or, do fun shit together, or we both have these goals and we both trying to we pushing each other to get it done. But it's not, as long as it's not at a sacrifice of me still being the same peaceful, happy person I was by myself.
I don't want to deduct that exactly because of this person.
Absolutely. Like I definitely only want addition and never wanted to subtract. So that's
I like that. So Bully, what would you say?
I will stick beside him.
I'm gonna stick beside him. No, see, I'm learning from y'all, because I'm a serial single person. I've always been single, so I feel like I don't know any better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what works, and since I'm so logically minded, I'm like, well, this is the way it's been. It works.
Mm-hmm.
Come and just and so I've gotten used to only dealing with men medicinally.
That's medicinal. Yeah.
For medical reasons. Mental or otherwise. Physical or otherwise. So I do everything medicinally, and I move from love. So it is a fit. So I think it makes sense when I'm listening to y'all. Like, I would want a partner, because you're not going to be no spring chicken eventually, no matter how many times I wear P-tails. And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, man, I probably would want to have somebody, but I've been serially single for so long. Yeah. I'm afraid that I'll get bored, that everybody gonna have a time limit. Like, I don't know if
all that shit might happen.
Yeah. Right. I don't know if I would really believe in what is it? Monogamy?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I don't know if I would really believe in monogamy for more than a decade. I'm like, okay, your decade is over.
You might move on to the next
one. Right. I'm in the 50s now. Let's switch it up. Different era, different genre. Yeah, switch it up. Like, I don't. And so, I don't know. Like, it just seems like I know how it's going to end. And that's a terrible way to think. So I'm not condoning it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I know how it's going to end with me if it's just me.
But, sometimes the right person may make you think different.
And if that's right, I would love it. It would be great. But it's from my perspective now.
Yeah.
It's always been presented as a liability, not as an asset.
Yeah.
And so I don't want a liability. Like, I'd rather not. I'd rather, being lonely is better than a liability in my head right now. Mm-hmm. But if someone is a complete net positive asset, bring them on in. And I'm going to pray on myself and be introspective on myself that I don't get bored, because I don't want to be no brat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But right now I am a brat because I've been single so long.
But you're single,
yeah. And I think when the right person comes along, that they'll roll the dice and shake shit all the way up.
I'm excited and I'm gonna stick beside them.
And it's coming. So cool. So blushing for me. So when it comes to love, there are like two things, for certain, and one thing for sure. People show you who they are, and it's really up to us to believe them. So look at it this way: when it comes to relationships, if you cannot see what they love doing, what's meaningful to them, if it doesn't connect directly to who you are now, you many times, if you're living in this fantasy world that many people live in, you will want to fix them or settle. And people really want to be who they are. Like you are right now in that single space. You really want to be there. That's who you are. However, the question I pose is, why do we project a fantasy of what we want onto people and then punish them for being just who they are? So why do we have this idea of love and what we want, and we try to sign up for something and they don't appear to be that person, and then we mad, we pissed off, we got an attitude, we got all this stuff, when they were just being who they were the whole time?
I think it's taught.
Okay, tell us more.
I think, when you're little and you have dolls or whatever, or you're around your mom or your aunts or whatever the case may be, they'll tell you, this is what a man's supposed to do. This is how a man's supposed to be. This is how a man's supposed to treat you. X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z. And then as a kid, you build that fantasy like, oh, well, my mom always told me I'm supposed to have someone tall, dark, and handsome. And he's supposed to make X amount of dollars, and he's supposed to be able to do this and do that. And let's just cut the shit. Some of us are still trying to get to that point where we can say, oh, I made it. I made it.
Yeah.
So
trophy husband.
Right.
Trying to get to that illusion that our parents or society created in our mind.
Absolutely. And the fucked up part about it is that you're putting your illusions on me when you didn't even have that illusion. Like some of our parents
divorce
or settle.
Or your mama ain't had a nigga for 30 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So
I'm trying to get relationship advice.
Exactly.
My mama ain't never gave me. She knew she would.
She knew what was up.
She knew her. My daddy didn't work.
Don't try it. Shut up, bitch.
She didn't have one person advice.
Listen.
No advice.
But I honestly think it's taught, like we are taught to think that our man is supposed to be X, Y, and Z and 1, 2, and 3. And then we're so built with fantasies that because he doesn't meet that criteria, we was like,
because also our parents definitely, in which we're trying to break those generational curses of what our parents project onto us.
Most definitely.
If they didn't have a husband, they didn't have a man, all the things that they desired in a relationship, like what you're talking about, they try to put it on us. You need to wait until you married to do this. You need to get married. You need to have a kid. You need to do this. You need to do that. Since you're trying to put every dream that go unfulfilled that you had,
but you're knocking boots at 16.
On to me. You try to put it on to me, and that's just not how life works. And it's like, you're right. Part of the fantasy has come from what has been projected onto us, but I think that's why we are one of the first generations to really create the reality of what it is that we want, to create the life that we want, and really disregard may be a strong word, but really just separate ourselves from what it is that our parents have desired from us. Because ultimately, I think they want the best for us many times. It's what they know. They teach us the extent of their knowledge. They only can go as far as what they have the capability of. But I think it's up to us to tap into recognizing, like, okay, my life may not look like that. My life may, even at this point, I may have a kid and not be married. I'm okay with that. I may be married and not want kids. I'm okay with that. It's a lot of different things that go into it. So I think when it comes to that fantasy, it definitely taps into what you said of the idea of what parents, society, friends, family, whoever has tried to place in our minds. But we have to be able to step aside from that and create the life that we really desire. If that makes sense. Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling it crosswords between y'all too.
Okay.
Because see, I didn't have that influence. Nobody projected anything on me. So I created the standard in my head by myself. And then comes the discussion of, is it really a standard, or are you being too high strung?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got fantasy that's an illusion because somebody projected it on you. Right. And then you got fantasy of, this is my standard. Right. Yeah. Because again, like, coming from me being single, being from a 2-parent home, I am like spoiled. Like, I have very high standards. I don't feel like I need anything because I didn't have to have it. So if you coming, you got to be exactly what I want. Yeah. And exactly. So like, you just gave an example, like at the beginning where you was like, and so when it's not what you want, you leave. And see, my problem is that's in the front gate. That's in the front gate. Like, I would already have my standard, and it may be considered a fantasy in this situation because I have no basis of where I got this from. Yeah. This is what I want. It's just what I think. I have no proof that that's what it should be or what it came from. That's just what I like. And so I'm like, well, I want them to come from this family, this type of family. I want them to have this much money or whatever. Let's say that was a standard. The moment it come in, I'm not going to try to change you or expect you to be anything else, but I am going to like want you to I am going to
you might as well get it downstairs.
Yeah. Right.
It was my prayer, Lauren. But to pray for a man.
But the song.
I can hear.
Either way.
Either way.
The fantasy, that's where the trick of the fantasy comes for me, is that it'll be my own standard, my own illusion. And then the moment, I won't try to change you or be something else, but the moment you're not exactly what I want, I already have checked out. I'm already done with it. And so, like, I wonder, I mean, I'm almost posing the question to you, but like, where does the trick of that fantasy comes from? Like, it's not a false fantasy from somebody else. It's just
false. It's some shit you created in your mind. But I think that it's your experience. Yeah. I think that you have to train the same way you have that mindset. You have to now train yourself to recognize that people are going to fuck up. And the people is not going to look exactly like you want it to look all the time. Now, mind you, it's levels to it. It's certain shit where it's like, yeah, I need to exit stage left. But it's certain things where it's like, if you're not doing what I want, or I feel like something may be off, I have to evaluate what that is and then recognize like, this is worth staying in. This person is giving me enough where I can recognize. So I think the same way your mind has been trained and your experiences for you to feel like, oh, I'm about to leave. I think on the same hand, you have to recognize what's going on and realize like, is this worth staying? Like, you got to talk yourself off that ledge.
I mean, you sound right. You sound right.
Oh, what would you say, Nikki? The fantasy. Why do we sit in this fantasy?
I think a lot of us, like you say, it's a cross between lack and comparison. Okay. So like you said, a lot of it comes from, okay, I didn't have this growing up, or I didn't see this growing up. And so I feel I deserve what I didn't get growing up. Like, for me, I didn't grow up in a 2-parent household. So I could have the fantasy, that's not me. I could have the fantasy that I have to be married to someone and I have to have these children, and this person has to be this ultimate provider and all that stuff, that whole package.
Because we tend to want the opposite of what we didn't get.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you can also have the comparison one. And so you can see your friends and see the type of men that they're either attracting or that they choose to be in relationships with. And that can be what you choose as your own standard, but that probably is not something that works for you. Yeah. And so again, it's fantasy. And then you in turn project it on people. Well, you have to still remember that they're still people. And we naturally are not perfect. Yeah. And so you have this whole illusion of everything I think I want and I deserve. And then you put it on a person who is absolutely imperfect, and they don't know what the hell you got going on in here. Yeah. They'll know that you essentially damn near crazy because you know, like, what did you expect when you met me? You know, like, I want you to be you. You know, that would be me. That would be my way of going about it. But some people don't come from that route. They think that they should conform to whatever it is that I say I want. I told you I wanted this. You need to do this. Instead of saying that that person is this, they can't give that. Okay, cool. Is that important? Yes or no? If it is, then move around. But I think a lot of it does come from things that we feel like we missed out on, and then things that we don't want to miss out on because we're seeing other people have it.
That balance, things that we feel like we missed out on, and things we don't want to miss out on. So almost like being in a situation where I didn't experience a 2-parent household. I want to have that, but also I still want to have the autonomy of if I don't want to be in a marriage and have a kid, you got to figure out what that looks like. But I think ultimately it's a lot of things that are projected onto us that cause us to have these fantasies from things we talked about earlier. But as Bully said, you have to be able to, you create your own idea of what you want, and then you kind of go from there.
And you learn that idea may not even be the one that worked for you.
Yeah. No matter what anybody says. So let's talk about this. I'll think about this. There are things that I think we need as a society, people in general, we need to pay more attention to in the early stages of getting to know someone. And I think we don't pay enough attention to. And it can cause us to hang on to this fantasy over the reality of the situation much longer than we should have. So I'm going to throw this out here. Think about these things, ladies, when answering these questions, because these are things that I've thought about, and that's why they've come up today, that I think sometimes we don't absolutely think about all the way. So when you think about a partner, potential partner, somebody you're dating, what is their daily routine? How do they spend their time? What do they spend their money on? How do they organize their life? What do they affirm? What do they converse about most? What are their goals? What are they learning about? This is who they are. When you think about those things, can what they are dedicated to help you fulfill what you are dedicated to in the majority of ways? Like, how can it work out in your life? So I'm going to put that bug in your ear, even for the listeners. Think about, all those things lined up. Does that person so far, do they align with the life that you have going on? So now I'm going to ask you all, do you all think that in reality, we really take a holistic look at these things before diving into a relationship? What has been your experience with that? And Tiffany is shaking her head no.
It's a hard no. I don't think none of us do. Because when you were saying it, I'm thinking like, damn, bitch, you ain't think about nothing. You know all this shit with these niggas.
I'm about to die. And stick beside him.
So I'm gonna start with you. You shake your head like a hard no.
I don't think when you in a fresh relationship, that ain't on your mind. Don't get me wrong. Now, when you get in your 30s, you be like, shit, I'm gonna need somebody that, he can talk about some budgeting, the X, Y,
basic level stuff though.
Yeah.
We dig it deeper.
Right. Yeah, but you young, ain't nobody thinking about that. Like, shit, nigga got them gray sweats. She got them Nike slides. Talk to me. Yeah, you're not really thinking about that. And like I said, it's all in a transition. Like when you're young, you're not thinking about that. But when you get older and you're starting to want more and invest more and things like that, yeah, you do want to think about
But do we really? I'm gonna tell you,
no.
We don't.
I don't think it's
we only 35.
Exactly.
Do we really?
Have I thought about it?
Because when I was doing my quote unquote research on this shit, I'm like, but you ain't thought about none.
I ain't gonna say I'm gonna call you and be like, nigga, what you do when you roll?
No,
what's your daily routine?
But thinking about the things I said. So when you see a person, and I'm gonna speak candidly, unfortunately. When you think about so we talked about sorry, not sorry. Look, so stuff you spend your money on, how their life is organized. What do they converse about the most? What are goals? What do they learn about? So I'm gonna go through this. So I dealt with a person that doesn't exist to me anymore. It was certain things that I was watching. They were spending their money on. I'm like, I don't think that's wise. Like I wouldn't spend my money on that. I'm not gonna say what it was, but I was like, no, I'm not, because
you don't know who it is.
I don't give a fuck about.
Right. Okay.
So it was certain shit. I'm like, that's like, we all got our vices, stuff we spend money on.
Yeah.
But it's like when you spend like a lot of money on certain shit, it's like
it's questionable.
That ain't it. Then it was like certain things, how they organize they life. It was chaos. I saw certain shit, and I'm a Virgo, mind you. I'm a different level of organization. But it was just certain shit that I was seeing, like, yeah, they just like all over the place. And they too old for that. They too grown. They claim, because age ain't nothing but a number. They claim to be too mature for that. Then, it's like, what do they converse about? Shit, they would talk about. I would have these conversations, but I would literally be sitting there like, this what you're talking about? I'm like, I'm not enjoying about nothing. You're in the midst of a conversation. You're like, I'm not enjoying this. Like,
I think like when you ask stuff like that, it's age range because like when you 20-something, you be like.
And I ain't talking about no 20-something. We all 30 plus.
Yeah, but like now, yeah, we gonna think about stuff like that. Like,
and the demographic that listens to this podcast is like 35 to 40. So all y'all niggas that's listening,
right? I don't want to talk about this bullshit. You like, it don't even make sense.
And then, like I say something, the final straw. It was during like the election time before Trump left office, and this was the person that kind of like started to feel like they stood on the side of Trump. I was like, because you're a fucking narcissist, like he is. I'm like, because you are.
You couldn't trust no black man that's just standing 10 toes for any white man. For any white, why is you standing 10 toes for any white man?
So listen, so Linda, so that is why when I say, do we holistically think about the shit? No, like, but mind you, the fantasy in the moment. It was moments, and mind you, it's like this and all happened in one day. But it was just things where every time I'm like,
you caught some.
I'm looking. That's why this is why we need the visual. See, I said, it was an orange, red. I'm looking like this ain't the fucking
football.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny you said it because like we'll see it as red flags and be like,
because you want to try to make sense.
Yeah. So I'm asking a question. So I know I'm admitting all that stuff. Like I wasn't taking a holistic look at it because I was in a position where I was like settling, compromising with the bullshit.
And that was going to be my response. Like if we as a woman, ourselves are not ready to have these conversations with ourselves, how can we expect something from the other person?
Right.
So it doesn't come with age because I just feel most men do mature slower than women, and that's a fact somewhere.
Slow.
On Wikipedia, probably. Somewhere on Wikipedia or Google somewhere. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But I think it really boils down to us as women, how we're going to carry ourselves and what we're going to accept in a relationship. Because I know, like you said, personally, some experiences that I've had with dating certain individuals, I knew going in, like we ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing in common. But I'm trying to make it work. I'm gonna find something. Like we can talk. There got it. Something's got to come of this. I'm not just gonna wait. I'm not just waiting. Like give me something. It was a hobby. It became a hobby.
But I gotta ask both of y'all in those situations where y'all seen the red flags. Y'all didn't have in y'all head that. Y'all didn't already confirm that it was a temporary situation?
Yeah, I checked out.
You do check out.
Right, okay. So that's where I was confused because
I stayed so mind you, this was like a pandemic situation.
I was going to say it's one of those pandemic hobbies.
And I don't give a fuck. But it was like a situation. I was just like in my mind, I checked out. I literally was on Google, like, how do I get out of this? I checked out. I realized like this ain't it. I know this ain't my person. I know this ain't forever. I'm here. I'm enjoying some of the moments, but I gotta get the fuck out of here. I stayed long past my welcome. Like I knew. What about you? Did you know?
Yeah, I knew. But the shit still hurts when it ends. Like, damn.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can't believe I shed a tear over this.
Yeah, like I was sick. I didn't eat. I've been there. Like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Did the man hurt you, or did the wasted time hurt you?
The wasted time.
That's what I was saying. It was the time.
It was his audacity.
It was the
wasting my time.
It was the principle.
It probably is because he probably knew. This ain't going nowhere.
Because she done wasted her damn time. Because that's what I got some friends I want to.
You see it.
I don't like wasting my time, but that's why I'm not gonna see you as a potential. That's what I do think of those things so much so that it's paralyzing. That I won't.
That's a gift.
No, but
that's a lot of.
But y'all ought to have fun, and I ain't had that type of fun.
Yeah,
and I want to have that type of fun. But it's like when you
want to have the waste of time type of.
No, I don't.
That's fun.
No, don't waste my time. At least be exactly who you supposed to be. Even if you were, a dick doctor or whatever.
That part.
Like you got to be who you gonna be. But I feel like y'all done had you do need those experiences because I feel like. Because I haven't been with no relationship that it's almost like if you go your whole life without breaking a bone and then you break one when you 50, you can't heal.
True.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't heal. Like you don't even know how to break a bone no more. It's gonna be you probably just gonna have a limp at that point. And that's how I feel. Like I've been so long without it that I feel like I can't mess up.
Or if you get it,
it's gonna be like devastating. Like I'm not gonna recover because I do think of those things to where I'm like, nope, you're not mine. You're not mine. You temporary. So I'm already checked out at the beginning. At the beginning.
It's the other extreme. PTSD or hate.
Pre-PTSD. Pre-post.
It's definitely
So I'm gonna ask you the opposite. So tell me, what has been y'all if we haven't looked at it holistically? Tell me what's been y'all's experience with that? I've told my horror story. This is a safe place. God is watching.
My God is watching. I know for me, more recently, it's been because it was the fact of it had been a long span to where I was just in my single shit, and then this relationship dropped in my lap pretty much. And it was cool at the beginning because it's like, yeah, it's been a minute. And, and the funny thing is I wasn't even looking for the bullshit. So I'm like, okay, it's fun. We kicking it.
But I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's what trips me up a lot. Cause a lot of good, they say in the Bible, a lot of good things happen when you're not looking.
Exactly.
The Bible
does not say that.
The Bible said it. The Bible said Wikipedia said it.
No, the Bible now. Let's get my gangster self in there. No, the Bible does not say that.
Wikipedia Bible said.
But people have said that. They said things come when you least expect it. And I was enjoying my shit. And then that happened and I kind of let it evolve on its own. But because I wasn't paying as much attention during the evolution, I also wasn't paying as much attention to the bullshit. Yeah. So I'm like, I see what you are stuck to only your routine. That's the thing. Like, fuck what your routine is. You don't give a fuck about nobody else's but yours.
Yeah.
So I have this routine. I get up, I go to work, I get off work, I go home, I chill, I go to the gym. When I get off the gym, I'm either watching a game or I'm outside, hanging with, my niggas and some shit like that. And it's hard. It's a hard routine. Yeah. And then at this time of the year, I go here. I'm my family here. I'm with these people here. And I'm like,
you ain't made no
bitch, for me, nigga. Why am I
here? Right.
Like, what's the point? And I'm like, but then me,
rude.
It's rude as fuck because it's like, I also have a motherfucking routine. And so when I started talking to you, I let you infiltrate that bitch. Yeah. And I had to be okay with it, but you can't be okay with making those small accommodations. Yeah. And so exactly. And so it's like, so that for me was the whole, it was just not, I wasn't paying attention to those things at first. Yeah. And then I finally sat down and saw that shit line. I was like, bitch, the fuck? That nigga ain't got no time for you. Fuck him.
But I always want you to make time for him.
That absolutely is correct. And so then when you have the conversations, then you start thinking about the conversations, because I could label him as, I'm going to just give him the label as it's absolutely selfish. Yeah. So anything that does not fall in line to whatever he feels that he wants to do and what his view of things are at that time, wasn't popping. Yeah. Or it could be seen as you tripping or it's a complaint. Bitch, like all I want is one, I hate repetition. Yes. Don't want to repeat shit. Yeah. So if I have to ask you something that's simplistic, more than once, I give my fucks go out the window. Yeah. So it's like
all he had to.
Yeah. And so then when you get into the point of, when you see people that only want to move and how they move, but yet you wanted me here. Yeah, I didn't go looking for you.
You asked for me.
You asked for this. You came to me. You wanted me, and so it's like I'm like, okay, let's see what happens.
But you know what? I have issues with that, and myself. Mm-hmm. coming into my routine or coming into my day because I have control issues. But a lot of my a Gemini.
Okay,
same. He's the same.
Yeah, but
it makes sense.
I say that because a lot of my control comes from fear.
Okay.
So when I don't have control of the situation, I cannot conduct myself in a manner where I feel like I can manage all of this.
Yeah.
And when I cannot manage my emotions or my response, then I have a problem. And I say that to say, if you're not lining up on my schedule, okay, we ain't got to do this.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to, like you said, he do what he's going to do. He's going to show up when he's going to show up. Let me fall back.
Yeah. And that's what I do.
Yeah, let me just fall back. But it sometimes it happens as a fault because then I'm not opening myself up to say, okay, maybe this is something that I need to address. But that control, that anxiety, all those emotions just begin to bubble up because my past experience has shown me he gonna shit on you regardless. So why am I trusting this individual?
Yeah.
So that's why I say I get him.
But the thing about it is you recognize.
Yeah, I do now.
But that's not.
Maybe he does now.
He is.
Maybe. Have you talked to him?
Yes, actually, because I removed myself.
Okay.
So he wants to reach out, and then that's where you have that. Oh, well, you don't talk to me because I said I told you, and I got to the point where I start to verbalize when you have time, when it's convenient for you.
We don't like that. Yeah, he's a Gemini.
Then you can reach out to me, and I stand firm on because I had to get to the point where I stopped trying to do all the accommodating, and I had to be good because it was interrupting my peace. And so now that I'm cool, I'm like, I don't even think to reach out to you. I was like, but if you got a minute, you want to reach out, I'm not gonna not answer the phone.
Right.
That's me. I'm not gonna be that because I'm never that type of person. But
I can only respect that.
Yeah, but if I feel like I'm not gonna force myself to fit into something that does not allow me to fit into it. And if you want me to be there, you will. And if you don't, then it's cool. So, and I'm an Aquarius, so it's like my life be like,
you water sign.
I just be like, I'm just moving around.
Washington.
So, but so like on the flip side, you start thinking about it after. Like when you started listening, I was like, damn, I could have saved myself fucking a whole lot of time.
Those are things we have to think about. So, do you all think that when we are guilty of ignoring those items or like not thinking about them, do you think it's because we just are wanting to compromise or we want to just settle? Like, what do y'all think that comes from?
I think we be exhausted.
Come on, exhausted.
Yeah. I thought I was going to yell. I think, and it was going to reach. I think we are exhausted.
Okay.
I think we already know as women at least, we already are capable of everything. We're more capable than men.
Yeah.
But we want men. We don't need men.
Yeah.
We want them.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times we're not moving from love or from ease.
Yeah.
We're moving from exhaustion because we're like, whatever, I just need a hug or I just need some dick. I just need you to pretend to protect me in these streets. Like I just need you to just stand in front of me sometimes and just you know what I'm saying? Like I just need you to literally just be the very bare minimum of what a man is, because we have already, like, just from like the whole women mature faster than men, like that's been used as an excuse.
It is.
Like, and so like now it's on our shoulders to just be this person that's in charge of immaturity and all of this other stuff. So we got to take care of grown people.
Yeah.
We're exhausted. We got to take care of the world. We exhausted. We got to take care of the other races. We exhausted. We got to, you know what I'm saying? We do a lot.
Yeah.
We take care of ourselves and stuff like that. So anything, and so really 9 times out of 10, again, we want men, and we just really want men to be the relief.
Yeah.
Deep down, to be the love and the relief. And when the world makes it seem like that's asking a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's really like people like, you want too much. Really, all we want is love and relief. That's really, it really can be like, it can be but like boiled down to 2 things: love and relief. You get security and safety and all that inside of those two words.
Yeah.
Inside love and relief.
Yeah.
And the world gaslights us. That's one of your episodes.
Yeah.
Gaslights us into thinking that's crazy.
Yeah.
You had too much. Whoa. Too much dip on your chip.
That's the universe.
Like,
You said too much dip on your chip.
they make it seem like we asking for all the men in the world to be kings. Like, no, just give me love and relief. And so we have to deal with the mental frustration of being talked to like we crazy for wanting that. Yeah. Then, you know what? Just come on, big dick nigga with no car. Come on. Come on.
Of course he
just come on. Fuck it. Like, you ain't shit, but damn it, you are a man. So let's just...
No, you answered the phone.
Right.
It's available right now.
Yeah, you available right now. You just, I mean, how many times I don't know how many times y'all done did it, but I done did that a couple of times. It's like, look, whoever answers my call first is gonna be the one to get it. So like this time, like, I'm gonna give 3 of y'all.
Because you know what you can handle in that moment. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna call this one. Whoever answer first.
That's y'all gonna decide for me.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna decide for me. Let fate. God tell me which man I'm a fuck. Then I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, God.
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry. No, because I do. I be like, you pick for me, and he don't want none of them. But he be like, you know what? Let me just let faith, because let me get you some stupidness in your life, because that's clearly what you want right now. So that's clearly.
Figure yourself out.
And then
saying you stupid,
and then just be in the bed, just upset, just like, oh, here I go again.
Feeling bad.
Here I go
you
again.
Feel bad for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, because we have pre-nut clarity. They have post-nut clarity. We have pre-nut clarity.
At the end, you gotta go.
Right. No,
we trying to stick around. Like, oh, okay, we good. No. You gotta go.
Thank you for your services.
Yeah.
We've already decided this has already been too long.
Tell us your Uber's outside, Uber's outside.
We got pre-nut clarity. Like, you know what? This is already taking too long.
So outside of that, like, I think in those situations it's ideal, but I think we do sometimes still compromise, unfortunately.
We do. We move from exhaustion. So we move from exhaustion, but outside of that, does it happen because we don't want to be alone, or because we think that compromise is the total sacrifice of ourselves, and it's what we're supposed to do, quote unquote?
I think
sacrifice comes from love.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
What?
You do.
There's no love without sacrifice.
Absolutely.
But that don't mean you sacrifice yourself, because then who's the love?
Yeah.
But I thought we already established that love is not sacrificing.
No, I think you have to have love with sacrifice. Like, you got to sacrifice something. They don't necessarily mean like sacrifice something bad. Like, you may have to sacrifice your selfish ways. You may have to sacrifice your flesh, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to sacrifice something, but it's a rightful, it's a rightful sacrifice. But you can't, because I'm saying love is not just exclusively in a male, female, or whatever romantic relationship. Yeah. Like, for your kids, if you love your kids, you're going to have to sacrifice being nice to not spare the ride because of love. You know what I'm saying? Love is sacrifice. In some sense, but that don't mean you deplete.
Right.
Or that you just give yourself completely, because then what is left in that situation? So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we still do compromise, and it's like when you wrap it back around to like the fantasy, it's like the thought of, like you said, you don't want to be alone, or you feel like at this point in life, I should be with somebody.
Right.
Who is available right now? Like, who came into my life at this point where I'm at the point where I'm feeling like I should be married, or I should be a parent, not co-parenting or that other situations. But I think a lot of it does come from us feeling that we should be at a certain place at a certain time. And that's where you start easing up on the shit means something to you. Right. All the important factors that falls into what your expectations are in your relationships. And it's because you feel like you're chasing something, or I'm running out of time and all that other jazz. But I feel like we still do end up shooting ourselves and wasting time, because we do that. We're chasing things and we're operating at that vein, and then we end up divorced. And then you still gonna do that shit 10 years later when you finally get it.
You ain't learned nothing.
Exactly. So it's like we still end up suffering. I don't know a word to describe that, but you still end up suffering in the moments because you chose to act out of haste because you felt like you're having to chase things, you know?
Or lust.
Or lust. And lust is a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's the fantasy of love.
You sending you're trying to fit a lust piece in a love puzzle. So
and they are two different.
Absolutely.
Don't get your L's mixed up. Because two of them result in losses.
Yeah.
So don't get your two L's mixed up. Don't get your L's mixed up. You got like, you got lust, and you got love.
Yeah.
Two of them result in a loss.
Yeah.
If you ain't careful. So you gotta, you can't. Most people think words are synonyms and they not.
No.
no.
They not. They not.
Especially not lust and love.
Or like. Because you can like somebody you don't love. Absolutely. And you can love somebody you don't like. I don't like my family.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna do the same with my husband because he soon will be my family.
So
I'm not gonna like you every day.
I do not like you, but I love you. I love you. Because and that go back to sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's gonna be times I don't like you. So to love you means I have to sacrifice the fact that I honestly don't like you right now, but I'm still gonna move in your best interest, which is what love is. Yeah. Love is, bottom line, moving in that person's best total interest.
Yeah.
Or, trying to move in that best interest, whether that includes you, moving in that person's best interest.
Yeah.
And so if you don't move in that best interest, you don't have love. And both people, in order for that to work, both people have to be moving from love.
Absolutely.
Both people have to move.
Absolutely.
Because I can also say that is loyalty.
That too.
And I have no attachment because there is no love, but it's just how I conduct myself and how I'm going to handle myself. Because I'm just loyal to you and I'm loyal to people and I hold myself to a certain standard.
Right. You must be a May Gemini.
I am.
I knew it. I knew it.
Next question.
I'm not. It makes a difference. But I'm a May baby.
It does make a difference.
I'm a Taurus too. That's why I knew, because I was like, you close to us. Yeah. You close to us because we care about loyalty. You not like super two-faced like them June.
Close, but not close enough.
Not close enough. She missed it, but she not one of them two-faced June Geminis.
No,
I don't know any June Geminis.
Because they crazy.
They hard.
Y'all are all May Geminis. Yeah. It's a different story. So on that note, we'll be right back with the Living Single segment. And we're back. So we are back for part 2 of fantasy versus reality in regards to this episode. And I want to get right into it, ladies. So I know we've been asking a lot of loaded questions, Joy. So to ask this question. So I had a conversation with somebody earlier today about this, and I feel like it was a really good question to pose to you guys because, like earlier, we've been bringing some deep-seated things to the forefront, and that's the whole purpose of this finale, to make people think a little bit and hold them over until season 4. So when it comes to the fantasy versus reality, research says that a partner will never meet all of your needs, and research says you should not want them to. On the surface, this may sound kind of crazy, but I want y'all to tell me, what is your interpretation of this? And let's do it in 2 parts. So let's start out first. Tell me, what does it mean to you when you hear your partner will never meet all of your needs?
80-20 rule. So why did I get married?
That's true.
Yeah.
They only gonna meet 80%, and then the other 20%, you just gotta.
I'm on my
own.
I mean, because realistically, all of our expectations probably aren't realistic. So it's like you're gonna.
There ain't one real expectation you got that you think.
I mean, because somebody's not gonna be consistent with something
directly.
All the time. Me? Do I have unrealistic?
Name one thing that you think that you may ask of a partner that is not realistic.
A real question.
Yeah. Does anybody have one?
No, I don't. I don't see what she came up with.
Y'all have nothing that y'all may ask a partner that's unrealistic.
Because anything I'm asking of you, I know I could do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all have nothing that's unrealistic.
I mean, maybe I want them to be white men. I want them to sometimes be white man wealthy, like Rockefeller wealthy. That's unrealistic, but I'm trying to build a legacy.
So
So that may be unrealistic.
You can attain yourself.
True.
But that's outside. Like, so I see what you're saying, but something that may be closer to heart, something that you may ask for. So y'all don't feel like I have any unrealistic expectations.
It's not what I have.
My thing is this: if you feel like you don't have anything that may be unrealistic, why can't your partner meet every need you have?
I mean, I guess it depends on the point in life that you get this partner, because the expectations you may have may not fit in where they're at in life versus when you want them to have it.
So think about where you are in life right now. So everybody thinks about that.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's why I'm single. What is the question?
Right now.
So think about where.
What does it mean to you that your partner may not meet all of your needs? Because I think about it in the sense of like, and this is a conversation I had earlier with my partner, that he may not always be available when I need him. Not that he doesn't want to be, but he may not always be available.
True.
He may not always be able to like comfort me or show up when I want him to be. He won't always have all the answers to whatever questions I'm asking. And I think for me, I initially was like, what the fuck that mean? You won't be able to meet all my needs? Like, that was what I said to him. Like, I don't agree with this shit. Right. And so then it was like, for him to like bring it home, like, okay, like, this is what it means. Like Shayna, like, if I could be there 100%, I would. But it's certain times in life where like, logistically, whatever situation, like, I just cannot be there. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it. But I think that when you have a partner that is like very fulfilling in a way, like most times, like he's like a person that most times, like I can count, like, you know, like I've seen, like you see movies and you like, and a person's going through something and they're like, where is my husband? Mm-hmm. You know, and I can see myself being like, where is so-and-so? Because like he solves everything. But it's like certain times in life, like he just ain't gonna be able to be there. Like,
and I think, okay, so the men that I have recently been attracted to,
they definitely won't be there.
They're not available. And they're not available because of whatever their work entails. Maybe as they travel a lot, or maybe as they work non-traditional hours. I get that.
Yeah.
But I think if you make the effort, okay, we can figure it out. I'm not saying my crisis is going to align with your availability.
No, tell us this story, Joy. I remember about, you were telling me about this, the person you were going out of town. I think you had lost your keys or something happened. And the person was like, well, just call me once you figure it out.
Yeah,
like
was
a rental
car.
Yeah.
So what happened was my car, I was headed to home. I was driving home. I was driving home. Uh-huh. This really bugged the shit out of me, but this is a quarantine hobby, so I forgive him because that was my bad. Like, I shouldn't have let it get to that point.
Yeah.
So I was gonna drive home to Chicago. Somebody had broke into my car, and I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, I needed to be home that day for an event, and like I'm scrambling. You know, you're frantic. Like, somebody broke into my car. This is messing up. It was a Saturday. And I was going to get on the road a little bit later. So at that point, when I saw my window was broken, a lot of the car shops couldn't get to the warehouse to get the window that I needed, blase. I called this man. Granted, he does not live in Tennessee. He lives out of state. But he's like, okay, well, call me when you get that figured out. And I was like, well, I'm not calling you. Like, God. What the fuck? Like, if you're not going to help me figure this out in the moment, and I'm not saying he was busy, he just didn't know how to handle things, because I believe, in my belief, his mother or his sister has always handled things for him.
Okay.
So for me to come to him, my expectation was, hey, babe, let me help you find a warehouse, and let me help you find somebody to fix your window, or let's find a rental in the area that you can get on the road, because I know you need to be home at a certain time.
Yeah. None of that.
Not only that, and this is probably airing it out of who it is. Nigga, you work for the airlines. Put me on a fucking flight so I can get home. This is nothing to you because you've done it in the past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your past has shown you have access to these resources that I need. And in this moment, when I need it, you are not available.
Yeah.
So I was fucked up after that, because I was like, well, this ain't got to be. And I think at that point, I couldn't unsee that or unexperienced that, or however you say it. So I couldn't see him the same.
I could unsee it.
Yeah, like I see
first solution.
Yeah,
that should have been the first solution.
and I was mad, and he like afterwards we talked about it. Once I got home and got to Chicago, we talked about it. But he didn't see anything wrong with that because he was like, "Well, I'm not there. Well, I'm calling you. I'm 33, 34 years old. I didn't already call my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
They're not here. They're not present. So I'm calling the next best thing on my list.
Right.
Like if I could have called God, I would have called God. Like, call him on the main line. Tell me what I need. Tell me what I need to do. But he was like, well, just call me back when you figure it out. That's
the worst thing a man could ever say.
Like,
that fucked me up.
Horrible.
It is horrible. It was. And like I said, at the end of the day, I knew what he was capable of doing because he has handled a situation in the past because I could get on a flight and go where I need to go. I needed to be at home at a certain time. So it pushed me back a whole day. I was mad. Yeah, I forgot about that situation. But yeah, I was mad.
I never forgot. You told me that shit. I'm like,
I never forgot.
I'm not calling you for nothing ever again.
You don't see any wrong in that. I'm mad.
That make it worse.
I'm even more mad.
Say goodbye.
You work at the airport. You can put me on the buddy plane.
He's done it before. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, that's just when you know a nigga ain't shit is when they hit you at one of them shit.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
Right.
You let me know. Like, no. Be a man.
Yeah, step up and be a man. Because like I said, I call my dad. I know what my dad is capable of doing. I know what my mother is capable of doing. But they both know that I'm dating you. You're in my life.
And parents be make you feel so bad for dating lame niggas.
Yeah, my dad was like, well, did you call so-and-so? I was like, okay.
Oh, I be so embarrassed. They be like, you ain't got no man friends. All of them friends you got, they got doing.
I don't. He was that person.
You like, where's JR?
I be
like,
so
that's why
embarrassed.
we bring people home.
JR
Then it's like the expectation is just like, well, he should do it. And I get it. Yeah. I could have handled it, but I'm leaning into the person that I'm dating at that time to help me work through a situation that you have managed to help or aid in my need of.
So you know what it means for a partner to not fulfill all your needs.
Yeah, I've learned that several times. So, yeah.
Tiffany, what does it mean to you when you hear a partner will never meet all of your needs? Like, is that like a good thing, bad thing? Like, what do you think? Because initially I thought it was a bad thing until like he pointed it out to me, like what it looked like. Because I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like you never gonna be able to be what I need? Like what this look like?
I don't think it's a bad thing. And it's just to go back off what Keisha was saying, like it just depends on where you are in life. They may not be where you need them to be in life. Yeah.
What's been your experience with that? Have you encountered that?
Hell no, because I ain't got time. Right. I am solo dolo. When the Lord said, I'm tired of you hoeing, here go your man. I'ma stick beside him.
Never gonna not be funny.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think, man, I'm just at the age now, like, man, if it come, it come. If it don't, it don't. I do know that my partner will not be capable of everything because we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes and stuff like that. But what Joyce said, if you are able to try. Like
put some effort.
Yeah. Like don't have me out here looking stupid by myself. Like,
but just for context, what I've experienced as men, like holding down their family. My paternal grandfather, built the house that he's currently living in. My maternal grandfather, male dominance, has taken care of all the family. So when I come into situations, I have that mentality. Right. My father is male dominant. Granted, we didn't grow up, with a 2-parent household, but he took care of his business.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like I never went without, but when I come across, lackluster men and I recognize where I am, you attract who you are in those spaces, in those moments. But it's just like, well, damn, like you can't do this. Like that don't make sense.
Yeah. Like,
but even if you can't do it, it's just a sense of support that you want to feel.
right.
Yeah.
So even if you can't, like, even if you don't know warehouses and other, you know, you can ask questions. You can try to be interested.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can try to make a couple of phone calls for me. You can try to do something to help.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been in a similar situation. Not that situation where he did not come through. It's a situation where he did come through. He told me I had to take the fucking rental car back. Because I was, you know,
taking it too far.
You know, I was at home and I had got a rental car, and the rental car was like new. It was like a 2020 rental car, and I was on some drunk shit, and I was out with my friends, and I backed into one of the things that they lashed the boat on.
Oh no!
So I got out the car. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It's the hitch.
I hit it. Yeah, the hitch. Okay. And so I backed into that in this new ass car, and I was like, "Fuck, I just hit something." So yeah, my best friend, you know, she laughed like, "Damn, bitch!" I get out the car, I'm like, "Bitch, it's a hole in the car." I'm like, "It's a hole in the car." She like, "Hell no!" So we get out, we like, "Damn, it's a hole really in the car." So I'm calling her like, "I'm drunk, like for real." So this what happened. Yeah, all the way here in Tennessee. I'm in fucking Chicago. I'm at home.
Yeah.
Some fucked up shit happening. And crazy shit going on. And so I'm like scared. I'm like, damn, okay, can I take the rental car back? So y'all gave me the car with the hole in it.
It was like this right.
We sat there all night drunk, thinking of every excuse we could think of. So I'm calling him like, this what happened? He's like, you fucking drunk. You know, I told you about doing this, that. Okay, yeah, thank you. But can you like do something to help? So I'm still drunk, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's like, okay, take the car here, get it fixed. This is what to tell them. And you know, when it's done, you take that fucking rental car back. And then when you go back to Chicago, you're gonna have people pick you up from now on. You're
not driving no fucking car.
Right.
Uber or rash, and you're gonna do something.
Yeah.
So the car got fixed. And
By
he
the grace of
but
God.
he was
Are
like,
you dating him right
but
now?
yeah, we are.
I like
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I like him. He put his foot down.
I like how he put.
But he was
Yeah.
like, tell him to don't like register the car as an accident. Like this is what you don't do.
Yeah.
And so the dude, he was like, well, I can give it to you. So he's like, no, we need it today. We're gonna pay whatever, and you know she gotta take this back. She gotta go.
Yeah.
And so the car got it looked brand new. I called my mom. My dad had saw it because I was staying with my parents. My dad had saw it. He already had called my mom. So I called my mom. Can you come? She like, I already know you had an accident. Something happened. I'm like, okay, well, cool. So we passed all that. Come get me. Come pick me up because I got to leave the car there. The man said I can't stay here.
Right.
Come get me. It's going to be a while. But the car looked brand new. And I took it back to the airport. And then, I was on punishment for the rest of the trip.
You know
what? But give me that time. My mom like, do you want me to drop you off somewhere else?
Right.
I heard what she said. She what? She stood beside him.
Said, okay, I'll take it back.
She said,
I'm glad I wanted to take it back. That shit fucked me up. I don't want to drive my rental car. If it was my car, I'm like, fuck it, I got a home. Right. And I'm at the airport arguing with me. This had a hole in it. I swear. I got to go like, no, bitch, it's not funny. Like, bitch, look at this. She like, we gonna get it fixed. So I'm like, no, bitch, we not gonna do that. This is in my name. This is the whole. I didn't want to pay for the car.
But you got a brand new car.
So brand new.
So we talked about on the first half, a part of not meeting your needs. He definitely met your needs and take care of that. But the part about and you should not want him to. What does that mean? You should not want somebody to take care of your needs.
It gives me like when I think of something like not wanting to, I think of like when somebody meets your need or meet every expectation, like they start giving you granddaddy vibes. Like it'll be boring.
Yeah. Y'all
don't never have any spice or anything to talk about. I think arguing or having communication like that is like a form of expression.
Yeah.
I always want to learn something about you. I always want you to learn something about me because growth is inevitable. People change, people grow, and people go through transitional periods in their life where they experience new things or meet new people or learn new stuff. Life is about learning and living and growing. So when somebody meet every need, you fake, you catfish, and I don't
Or the fact that you know that you can control them.
Right. It would be a control thing for me.
And if I know I can control you, I don't want that. It's like rubbing a chain.
No, I want a man to be. I want a motherfucker to be like, take that motherfucker back, and you cannot do that no more.
But you don't own them, or you saying it wouldn't feel good?
I think it has to be a balance, because for me, it was easier for me to understand the second half of the question than it was for me to understand the first half of the question, because I thought to myself first, I'm like, well, why can't I meet all of the needs? Yeah. Maybe I'm boastful, but I'm trying to figure out what I can't do first, and then I can't really think about what I can't do. Okay. And so I would kind of need a man here to tell me what's something they would want to do that I don't know that I could do if I really wanted that. And then I would have to think, okay, so what is it, something that I could compromise? And it goes back to the episode of boundaries and deal breakers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What could this is not being met, but what can I be okay with now? What can I wait for? Priorities are priorities right now. What can I do now? And then what has to come later. But I do feel like it's good to say not want to, because growth is encouraging. Like you want to be able to look back and be like, you know what? This was not that, and now it is. Mm-hmm. And without being able to see the direct comparison of we're moving. Yeah. We're water. We're 70% water. Relationships, love, all of that is fluid. So if we're not moving, we're molding. Yeah. And so you got to make sure that the love is not molding. If it's already there, that's not really love. That's convenience. Yeah. And you don't want just straight convenience, because I'm going to be in control of that convenience. And not only am I going to be in control of that convenience, I'm going to be in control of you and him too. Mm-hmm. Because now you have inevitably been 0% of what I need, because you are everything. Because if you're everything, you're also nothing at the exact same time. Yeah. So you got to have that balance of growth. I need to be able to see the progress. I need to know that we have moved and we have grown and we're fluid, and not just some mold sticking in here, just knowing like, okay. Because.
Yeah. But I also think that is kind of a trick question. And I'll say that because
you know what, Joy?
I love the trick question. I'll say it's a trick question because you said, what if somebody can't meet all of your needs? I think that there's a difference with me being like, hey, this is a need you're not meeting, and this is my expectation, and then you're not trying to meet it. Mm-hmm. And so it's different. So it's a difference between you can't meet it because you can't physically be here every time I need you, and then me telling you, hey, this is what I need, and this is where you're at, and I need you to come here. Yeah. And you just not trying. Mm-hmm. That's an issue for me. That's when we have an issue, we have a problem.
That definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, you ain't got to be a plumber, but you got to know which plumber to call.
So basically, you ain't got to be a plumber, but you got to know what I need.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't got to be under the sink, but messing up shit. But look, you should be able to call and pay the invoice. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you gotta have some type of
take care of the need that's supplied.
Like, yes, do I want a man to build my house? Yes. If I could, let me marry an architect who's literally going to design it. That would be cool. But also, if you could just make enough money so I can design the house that I want.
Wait a minute, what?
That word. I'm saying the standard. Like, you may not meet exactly what I want, but you can find a way to meet it. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You can still find a way to meet it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be exactly the way I want. I can bend on the exact, but I can't bend on the solution. Mm-hmm. No, I want a man to build my house. Yeah. You don't got to physically build it, because we know me. I know, I got grandfathers in my family that actually build the house, literally do it. That's nice. I like men that can fix things, but maybe my man ain't gonna fix things. Maybe his hands is nicely manicured to play with me instead. And then make sure that money is there so I can still get what I want. Yeah. But you're not just that manly man, and that's okay for me, because you met the standard without meeting it exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, coming all the way around full circle. Does that make sense, Joy?
We'll go with it. I'm single, so I'm trying to figure out.
We single together.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Single twin over here.
Yeah, that's me.
So on this side, so Nikki, what do you think about the notion of like they say you don't a man should not meet all your needs and you should not want him to?
When I think of I shouldn't want him to meet all my needs, I mean, I want to allow for, like Janae mentioned, allow for the growth.
Yeah.
You know, like for his individual growth and for mine, because I want to always be looking to want to be engaged with you, to want to get to know you. And I want you to do the same for me. And some of my needs that I need to be met are not needs for him to meet. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I have my friends who are supposed to meet these particular needs. And I have my family who meet a set of needs. They're not meant for him to come in and fill in that space because he will ultimately never meet those needs because they're not meant for him. So, you know, that's when I start thinking about things like that. I never put certain expectations on a partner because that's never been your zone. Yeah. And the moment you try to be in your zone, then we start having issues with the other shit you're supposed to be focusing on. Yeah. You know, so that when I start thinking about the part of I don't want him to, that's what primarily comes to mind.
I just learned something.
And what you learned?
What she just said. That's what they say in class. What she said.
Another part when she was saying like family and friends have certain spots that they feel.
Yeah.
But it also goes back to I don't want him to be able to fix those needs because what if that's a need that I need to fix on myself?
True.
Mm-hmm. You know,
what if you have somebody who is fixing all of those needs and then y'all don't work out? And then you just left broke, busted, and disgusted.
Mm-hmm. And I think and it goes back to and it goes back to you can't
living in trailers.
You can't love nobody till you love yourself.
Right. Because left them living in trailers because somebody was meeting all of them.
Too many needs. They were still dependent.
They dependent. When somebody's meeting all your needs, you become dependent on them. And then I know women like
that's a control, right? Because that'd be a control thing.
Men have left them that now I'm gonna live in the trailers and shit.
I ain't gonna depend on no man that much.
Doing all of this stuff. So no, I need to be able to make my own way and have my own identity.
Right. And I think back like what you were saying, like you gotta have your own identity, and you gotta also be able to. As they said, how can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself? Mm-hmm. Don't look for that person to fill that void. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of I have a friend that no matter who she dates, she looks for him to fill that void. Mm-hmm. And I always tell her, well, like you said, well, what if that don't work out? Mm-hmm. Then you've built a bigger hole, a bigger void that you haven't even filled for yourself yet. So how can you expect somebody else to see
she
it?
just needs to go to counseling because that's some childhood trauma, traumatic stuff.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. It's a wrap. I think when I look at it, like my perspective,
we can't help her.
My perspective, like, is
we can't do that. We can't help her. Don't write it.
Don't write it.
We want it.
Don't write it. Go straight to therapy. Don't pass go. Don't stop.
Don't collect $200. Don't do none of that.
Straight to jail. I just look at like overall, like self-preservation is key. You can't lose your ability to function and survive alone just because you're partnered. Because God forbid something happens to your partner, but ultimately, you know, if they leave this earth, the notion I like to live by is I'm connected to everything, but I'm attached to nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm connected. I'm connected to everybody in this room, but I'm not attached. That if you left this earth, you went another way, whatever happened, that if you left my life for whatever reason, I still gotta function.
That's what they sing on Molly music.
Yeah, I gotta be able to function with like beyond that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of those things like even I talk to friends about this, like women who have children. I talk to women that's married, women that's single, and they all have the same notion of like, you know, ultimately say if you partner, you're not a single parent, quote unquote, but you almost have to have, and it's even from a married woman, you got to almost have like a single parent mentality because again, God forbid something happened to your partner, but your husband could die, your husband could leave, whatever. It's a lot of variables that go into place that you done quote unquote set yourself up for success of like you being together, and then the nigga leave, and now you got to figure it out.
They just
I think in life,
you just gotta get 2 weeks notice to anything. They just gone.
So when I think about this whole notion of being, they want to. When I say earlier, like you don't want them to be what was the thing? Look, I forgot that fast. Overall, when you're looking at a partner will never meet all your needs. That's one thing, but you should not want them to. I think on the side of you should not want them to. I think that just comes down to recognizing like, I got to be able to function in this life alone if that's what it gives me. And whatever that may look like, I got to be able to push through it. So. I think y'all all have had some sound answers, and the last thing, Joy, it ain't a whole lot. But... so let me say this: a struggle I've sometimes had in relationships is when I get past like the honeymoon stage. If we experience any sort of hiccup, I tend to think like it's the big boom, the end of the relationship is going downhill. When in reality, it's truly like this fantasy in my mind that the relationship is going to be perfect, quote unquote, the entire time with no issues. And it's crazy of me to think that, but I've been guilty of it. So it leads me to ask, what does the balance really look like in a relationship when you are truly battling the desire of the illusion of perfection, because perfection is an illusion, against the reality of what is going to truly happen? Like, how do you balance that, Joy? I'm going to ask you. When you know that you got this illusion on your left hand of like, this is my perfection, this is everything I want, but on my right hand, this is reality, shit is going to go absolutely left. How do I balance it and not drive myself crazy, or not drive myself to the point where I say, fuck all relationships, I'm not even going to try it out?
That's tough for me. Yeah. And I think it goes back to a previous question that was asked, and my answer was, for myself, I have an issue with control.
Okay.
Because if I cannot control the narrative, my narrative in whatever the situation, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I can't unexperience all the different variables that are happening. So as things are coming at me, I don't know what you're doing on your side. I know what I'm able to contribute to the relationship, but when it's undone or, it's not happening the way I see it, I'm out. And that's just been my flaw that I'm working through.
Do you want to work past that, or you want to sit in that?
I'm sitting.
Right. I know you're sitting. Do you want to stay in it, or you want to work past
I'm
that?
trying to work past it. Like, I know there's a bigger and better something over the horizon.
Okay.
I'm not at that point now. I'm still, mixing and mingling as it happens. And I'm taking from every experience what the ultimate relationship would look like for me. Okay. Basically. So does that answer the question? It does. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
You're gonna stick beside it. Bully, what do you think? What's the balance look like for you in relationships of the fantasy of what you think and the reality of what life is?
I don't think you can balance disillusion.
Okay.
I think that is inevitable self-sabotage.
Okay.
For you not to be in reality. I think you should have hope, but not fantasy. Like, fantasy is just a disillusion. It's just made up stuff. It's just an exaggeration of things that it's motivated by lust.
Yeah.
And it's not, lust isn't always sexual. Lust is just to have like an addiction and a fervor for something that's just not.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not what it's supposed to be, a fleshy outlook to things. And I think, there is no balance to that. Like, you should have hope, past what the reality is. You need to be practical. You need to be aware. You need to be introspective. You need to know exactly what's going on, or you're going to sabotage yourself or set yourself up for failure, or set the relationship up for failure, set the other person up, and you're not moving for love. You're not moving out of love for the other person or for yourself in that situation when you are delusional, because we've all dealt with delusional people. It don't help nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it don't help nothing to be delusional. Yeah. It's an illness. So I don't think you can balance fantasy. You can have the reality. You can be realistic. You can know exactly what's going on, and then have hope, and then have some type of gumption about yourself to work harder to get to a more ideal state. But I think you just got to cancel out the fantasy thing altogether.
Okay. I can roll with that. Tiffany, what do you think? We gonna stick beside.
Yeah, I'm right.
I don't think it could be a balance. Like you said, like shit is life. Shit is gonna happen. It can go left or like, but the fantasy is like she said, it's imaginary. It's what all you made up. Mm-hmm. And in your head, you can constantly make things up. But when life hits, it's no fantasy for that because you're stuck in it. There's nowhere to run.
But people are still delusional.
Very much so.
It's terrible.
And it's terrible, yeah.
It's terrible.
And it puts them it put you in a bad place and it puts them in a bad place. Or vice versa. So I don't really think it's a balance. I think like Bully said, like you gotta have some type of hope or faith that you gotta, because with a relationship, everybody's stepping out on faith. Like you don't know if that's your soulmate or whatever like that. But you gotta have some type of faith to step out and be like, okay, it is what it is, and if it ain't, I'm out.
I think I can roll with that.
Be positive, not.
I'm over here thinking of another question, Joy. So
I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it.
Keep it up with the punches.
Look, I think for me is I've always leaned more into the reality, because the reality is that I can only control what I do and my reaction to things. And so the hope is that someone else comes in and, like you mentioned earlier in this episode, is that they're being themselves.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what I'm dealing with. So I can't fantasize anything because the person who you are is who you're presenting. Yeah. So that's kind of like where I tend to lean towards into that, is staying more into the realistic area. Is we're not always going to get along. It's not always going to be perfect. I'll have shortcomings. You'll have shortcomings. But at the end of the day, for me, the biggest thing is we're respectful of those things. We're supportive of each other. And we have an understanding that we will get through things with actual effort, with actual, and still have that same love for each other. But the unrealistic or the fantasy or the dream part of what love really is, that's honestly what is so much more detrimental to the relationships, because like you said, you'll never meet an expectation if you're living in that kind of a, I guess delusion, so it's more so the realistic side of things that I think you have a lot more control over than you think, versus the fantasy, because you've already set it. And now everything else in life is just, throwing shit at it. And it's like, I've lost control of the whole fucking fantasy because life is fucking happening. So I think it's easier to do it that way.
And I think ultimately the bottom line of everything y'all said is I think people need to start, in my opinion, being more honest with themselves. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that generated this conversation, and one reason I wanted to have it, and when I looked at, I do research and stuff, and I look at these topics, is I think it's a lot of, I'm going to say just women out here, like not being honest with themselves.
Yeah.
You in situations that, sis, you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
really
happy.
don't.
You're not happy. It don't align. You hate it here. You really hate it here. And you done created this fantasy or illusion in your mind that like it's gonna get better. Mm-hmm. Like he gonna do better.
Make it make sense.
And you try to make it make sense when the mister has shown you 0% chance.
Yeah.
It's a 0% chance with 100% chance of rain.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has shown you nothing for you to get where you want to be. So I think, and that's one thing I want to make sure, like, even in going into season 4, more conversation I want to have, because I think, one, I'm always a fan of like, it's an equal playing field. Men and women, we both play a part. Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes as women, we got to tap into ourselves a little bit more to recognize, like, what can we do differently? Or
be honest with the part we're playing.
Honest with ourselves. Like, sis, we went to the registration on the Saturday at 2:00 and signed up.
Signed up.
Put all this shit.
You knew it was some bullshit.
Put our name on the list. We put our name on the list.
Right.
You know, we made a conscious decision to do it. So I think we just have to do better with that. But I definitely agree with everything y'all have said. But I think when it comes down to it, the core, the balance is just like recognizing like, what role do I play in this? What can I do differently as a person? And if things are not aligning like I like, you know, if that fantasy that I started out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, whatever time, I can tap out at any minute. Like, this ain't it. So
I think sometimes too, when you get into new relationships, the fantasy is about those first 6 months.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're doing everything.
Yeah.
You're doing everything.
Honeymoon phase.
And so I think that a lot of times women get stuck in that phase because they see your potential.
And they go back to that, like on month 7, they like, oh shit, well, month 2, he showed me, we went on a date, he showed me good time, bitch, he isn't on a date in 6 months. Y'all went on 2 dates. Get back sleep, granddaddy vibe.
But I think men do that. That's what they do because men show her hand in the first 6 months of what you're capable of doing. So then the next 6 months you're not doing it, but I know you're capable of doing it.
I think you're capable because you might have been fronting.
Yeah, I mean they could be front, but I'm saying, but you're capable of doing it because you did it.
Because you did it.
You did that shit.
You're right.
And so when you have that, when you set that expectation, so men, I think it's men. They fuck up when they do that. They show their hand. Literally, you show your hand the first 6 months, and then now all of a sudden you don't do it. You send 1 rose. It's
like the Bachelorette. Get the fuck out of here.
Like. So seriously, that's what they do. And I think women, like a lot of times we live off emotions. Like we don't hold on to that. We hold on to stuff that you do for us because we care about it. That's stuff that we care about. And you know we care about it. So whether you doing it as a front or you doing it because it's really you do it and you don't do it no more. And I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
So you showed me what you could do.
Yeah.
You accessory to the crime. You assisted in the crime. So I was delusional, but you painted this picture to me.
You did. Absolutely.
In that situation. So we can't let the men go scot-free because we have all said
you painted this picture. I have an expectation and now I'm a bitch because now I'm a bitch or all insecure because this is a requirement
criminal
that I need now because you did that.
Right. You feeling this.
You made me spoiled to this for 6 months. And now the next 6 months, you don't do it no more?
And I think at that point, they're like, okay, I did that and I'm gonna stop. So
because
at that point, because so now they're waiting to see are you going to actually still expect that of them? So are you going to sit there and let them not do it anymore?
I think a lot of times too, that's what communication comes in from.
It absolutely does.
Because we get so used to it. And I think a lot of times, I know with me, for myself personally, I'm working on this, be like, hey, that made me feel good. That I like that. I like when you did that. Like, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate that. And so that makes them want to do it more because you boast in their ego.
Yeah, man.
I love that. Thank you so much. Like that made me feel good.
They're doing that for 2 or 3 other females, so it's still hard.
I still think it's on women's shoulders to be clear communicators and to have hard lines. I believe in hard lines, making they say God is not the author of confusion. You can't be either.
Yeah.
Like, because men are, that's why they the devil, because they confusing. Women are not. Okay, so you can't be the author of confusion. You got to have solid lines, because in each one of our stories of reference, we have all said at some point, we already knew we didn't really fuck with that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know in the beginning, we know exactly who you are in the beginning. It is only when you try to paint this fantasy, or you are putting that fantasy on us. Yeah. You are painting yourself to be this thing. You are dating with your representative, that then we start to believe, because you like, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. Well, what if that's the first person you show me and I believed you?
Exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
so
it's like, what's to you?
Exactly. Right. So yes, you got to be smart, but then that's when you get people like us be like, well, we just don't trust it anyway. Too good to be true. That's where you get these other idioms from that. It's too good to be true. It's too, all of this stuff. So it is a working thing. Like, yes, everybody needs to be introspective. Yeah. Everybody. But men ain't about to get no easy pass from this. Like, at all, because they are part of it. We are more realistic people. Yeah. Women are more logical. Women are more realistic, and we think very mathematically. This is this, so this is this. Yeah. That is how we think. And so, like, when we come in, we can tell you ain't got this, and this is all you can be. We make that math problem. We set up that equation from the beginning. The only time we are going to go against that is when you have showed your potential, the word that you don't like. You showed your potential, you showed your representative, and you've made it clear that you can do this. So now we like, well, if you can, you should. Math. We are mathematical creatures. Yeah. Like, we're not going to go. Like, we don't function out of emotion. We function out of make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense. Yeah.
That's how we function. So, like, men's listening. This your fault too, and if you got a problem, write in.
And on that note, we'll be right back.
This now brings us to the Living Single segment of the podcast. It's simply a segment where we want to send you good vibes, good energy, and give good advice on any questions that you may have about being single, dating, or relationships. Remember, nothing is off limits. So, welcome to the Living Single segment of the show, and let's get into it.
All right, so today's question for the Living Single segment comes from our website, www.tobesingleornottobe.com. So it reads, I am 32 and dating a man that is 41 years old, and sometimes he gives me granddaddy vibes. Listen,
well,
because he said, no, she's 32, he's 41, because all he wants to do is nap. She says we can hang out and have a good time, but if we are at the house chilling, we can even get 10 minutes into a movie and he is asleep. Or if we are just relaxing at the house, I look over and he is asleep. I understand he is not a spring chicken. Right. Narcolepsy. She said, I understand that he is not a spring chicken anymore, but 41 is not that old. And she been listening to the show. And I do not want to be with someone that only wants to sleep when they are not working or moving around. I might have answered my own question, but I figured why not write in and ask,
don't sit in the house.
How should I handle this quote unquote grandpa situation? Because I'm losing all the feels for this guy and I thought he was a good catch.
And leave him.
That's it. It's
next.
And leave. Peace out.
First of all, 41 years old and you sleep all the time, sir? What's your diet looking like? Like, what are you doing?
How much you sleep away? In the house because I do the same thing at home.
That's I sleep right. So it's all
come on, Taurus.
If I'm home, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
My home is for sleeping.
But if you got
somebody else there,
we got company.
Okay, but
her conversation ain't on nothing.
Right? Is she trying to make moves?
She may be a problem.
Look, but she may be no. We're not gonna do that. She probably talking to him. He knows it all.
What's she talking about though? What's she talking about?
She said we'll watch a movie.
We watch
and
Netflix
10 minutes.
And chilling.
And she said when we hang out, or she said we watch a movie. But she also said we just make it relaxing.
But it sounds like she's letting him sleep. Right. I'm gonna be quiet. Like, what you doing?
Why?
I mean, on one side, it could be he's not interested.
Yeah.
So unless we out in public kicking it with other people around, he's probably not interested. Or maybe he's just not your speed. Maybe he's spending his time with somebody else.
Maybe I'm not your speed, bitch.
Or maybe he works 12 hours.
Maybe he worked. Yeah.
And she ain't been nowhere.
I feel like if he's going
to Ford complex.
But no, if he's going to invite her to be around at his house, I think that him being asleep is not okay. And I'm not going to just jump to the conclusion that she's blah. I mean, she could be.
I mean, but did she put that in a letter?
Yeah.
Is he inviting her or is she coming over?
No, she invited her.
I mean, he got off the door.
He probably told him, "All right, man, I just worked a such."
He probably told her. He probably told her.
Well, I just want come on. Well, I just want to see you. I just want to be under you. And then when his ass get to snoring, is
Oh, this bitch sleep. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's some missing holes to this story.
She answered her own question.
I feel like he's too old for her, and she's 32. She just needs to go to her business.
Maybe she just needs somebody younger.
Yeah, she already somebody young, fun,
likes to travel. She already said.
Then she gonna be putting on websites.
She's not that old.
She gonna be like,
no,
she
41.
dignified.
I mean, I know men at 41, but yeah, it could.
Okay, but if he pop vibes, is she granddaughter vibes? I mean, what vibes is she giving?
Like, what made them attracted to each other in the first place?
Yeah.
They probably met in Minerva.
It's the old people smile.
On a Thursday night.
Minerva's really for old people.
Not on a Friday and Saturday. They met on a Thursday at the Jazz Center.
Jazzy Sensations.
Jazzy Sensations. They might have met at Sensations.
Ooh. My God, if you met them, baby, run.
But we don't know if they from Nashville. She didn't say that. So what do we want to tell her for sure?
I don't know, because if I sleep around you, it's a sign of security for me. Because I like to sleep. I love to sleep towards game. I love to sleep. But if I feel unsafe or sketchy in any way, I will not sleep around you. So you could think of it positively.
Or he could just be a sleepy motherfucker that it don't matter about him.
He could. Safe. You can't trust men with that. Me as a woman, if I sleep around you, it's a security thing, because my closest friends, like, that's how we closest, because we done napped in the same room. We had nap dates. That's literally what we do. Come over and let's sleep. Yeah. And that's literally what we do. But on a man's perspective, you can't trust me, because men are naturally just like a little bit lazy when they get home. They not that fun. They sex drive go down quick, and stuff like that. And they say when you get 30, when you get 30, your sex drive peak, don't they say?
For women. It's 40 for women.
40? I thought it just go up more.
It go up 30s and 40s, yeah.
Dang, I thought I was at the head. I gotta wait. Some more? Dang. Okay, I thought I was close. Okay. Either who though, is what I'm saying is.
I never heard that. Either who.
You came in with the rap ad libs. I tell you. You spoke like I was still challenged. I mean, they need to leave. That's the bottom line. They not compatible for each other. You out here, the moment really, let's be real with your show.
Let's be clear.
The moment you write in, you shouldn't have. The moment you write in, it's dead. Like, the streets is done. Like, leave. The moment you done thought to yourself, I need to type in to a podcast about being single or not to be, to talk about my problems, you should have left. Tune in, guys. But the moment you start to type that letter, you already knew. Yeah, you already knew what the answer was. Like, you already know. Y'all are not compatible. But I just want to leave and say, I think she could possibly be the problem, because she didn't tell us the whole story. She did not. She conveniently.
They give a snippet.
He could be playing sleep. Like, I just want her to leave.
That's what I'm thinking. I want more.
Little junk coming through, and she said she coming. All right.
Because you didn't even tell us enough of his side of the story.
Men do crazy stuff like that.
Because the fact that she didn't tell us none of his side of the story means that you conveniently leaving that out. Oh, you gonna tell us that you sleep, so you just want us to feel bad for you? No, you boring. And I want to know what you doing. Because why he allowed to sleep? Why you just sitting up there and letting him be comfortable? Exactly. Like,
he waiting on the next.
Exactly. Do something. I know some sleepy ass niggas, and they gonna be awake, goddamn.
Right.
For my ass, they're going to be awake.
So for me, for her, just for me. So for sis,
find somebody that won't work for you, honey.
I'm trying to say,
you trying to don't say, folks. She don't want to be saved.
She don't want to be saved. Since you heard what Bully and Joy said, it's over with, sis. I hate to give it to you, and it's probably your fault. Yeah. I hate to give it to you like this, but it's over with. And if you have a relationship question, feel free to write it. You got me thinking, like, don't write it.
Wait, do they get a notification when the episode comes that they let it? Oh, good, because they gonna be upset with it.
that said, you know what to do, sis. If you have any, if anybody wants to write into the show, feel free to send it in on any of our social media platforms or the website, www.tobesingleornottobe.com. And we'll be right back with part 2 of Fantasy versus Reality. And now this brings us to the resolution segment of the show. So I want to ask you, ladies, what would you say the resolution is to understanding that when it comes to relationships, we have to live in the reality of what is and not live in the fantasy of what is not? What is your final advice on that? And we are going to start with Nikki and go around the room from there.
Let's see. I would say that, and this is to anybody, men, women, or indifferent. I would say that the biggest takeaway would be to actually spend time with yourself and determine what is like really the realistic goals that you have in your relationships. Because sometimes you can say that you're doing this, but is it stemming from, again, something in the past, a sense of lack, a sense of comparison? But really, what is it that is going to be most beneficial for you and operate in that same vein? And always remember that people are not, it's a privilege to have people invited into your life. You know, they don't, you know, it's not something that they have the right to. You have to invite them into that. And so when they come in, if it's not working, kindly, you know, escort them out, but always still maintain what it is that you know for yourself and don't deviate from that based upon what you think, you know, quote unquote potential, or what this whole fantasy of somebody else's life should be.
I agree. I love that quote unquote potential. What would you say, Tiffany from Mississippi?
It almost rhymes.
And we know you're dealing with that Virgo.
Yeah.
I thought you fell through the wall.
I would just say, like he said, figure out who you are, who you want to be, but don't put no more on the table than they do. Mm-hmm. Don't expect any more than they would expect, because, like Janae said, men move off of words. Women move off actions. So just focus on you, but also set your boundaries.
Yeah.
Don't, you know, if your boundaries are there, don't, whatever words he dished you, so I promise they're gonna fade away. Like the dust that they are. But
come on, so
just make sure you're instilling like what's real to you versus a fantasy, and don't let society or your family or your friends fill you up with, oh, this is the man you should have and this is what you should look in a man. Like, fix yourself whereas you see that man can see himself in you and you can see yourself in that man.
That sounds like fun.
Oh no, not like this, sis. But if you get down to that.
No. What would you say, Miss Card?
I don't think my advice done changed. Introspection is key.
Okay.
You are the weapon and the prize.
Yeah.
So you need to sharpen that up.
Sharpen it too.
You need to tune in your eyes, because you know it can get, what are they called? A mirage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing.
Mirage.
Yeah, them things can be the things can be a mirage. If you are not sharpened, if you are exhausted, what are the effects of exhaustion? You know what I'm saying? Delusion, mirages, fatigue. You're seeing things, fatigue, you start doing things, moving out of desperation. All of these things, and that same stuff works for your heart and your mind.
Yeah.
So if you are not keeping your heart and your mind sharp without a person,
yeah,
then when you get with the person, you're gonna be easily susceptible to tricks. And you're not gonna know. You're not gonna be able to tell if this is the representative or if this is actually the person that's actually applying the pressure. You ain't gonna be able to tell the difference between representative and pressure. if you're not sharpening your own tools. Why y'all laughing? But for real, you got to do that. And also remember, you don't want to be no negative Nancy. Yeah. You want to have positivity and hope and faith that, you don't want to be somebody so bitter and so upset that things have been sucky because you was weak, because you didn't see what you needed to see. Yeah. And then you take it out on your future and think that, because you subconsciously done destroyed yourself to where when something good comes along, it's too good to be true because that's an insult to yourself. Yeah. Why is something too good to be true? It's good enough for me because I'm worth it. Right. But if you're not sharpening yourself in that time alone, then you're not going to, again, be able to see the difference. Yeah. And so you got to sharpen up, but you can't, you got to protect your heart above all things. I had to bring a little Bible verse. You know me, gangster for God. You got to protect yourself. You protect your heart above all things because whatever comes from you flows from that. Mm-hmm. And if you got exhaustion in your heart, desperation in your heart, hurt, pain, sober, that's what's going to flow for it. And that's what's going to attract. And that's what you're going to see. And that's what's going to filter your eyes. That's the word. Right? And that's how you're going to see it through. Yeah. So you got to keep it but you also got to keep it again, not negative. Yeah. Have hope. Know that when you see something good that you deserved it because you attracted it. Yeah. And you worked hard for it. If you sharpening yourself on your own, then that means when good stuff comes along, well, I worked for this. Yeah. When you work and when you go to school, you get these degrees and you get a good job, you ain't thinking, it's too good for me to get a job. No, bitch, I work for it. Goddamn. $100,000. I deserve this job. You got to have that same mentality. If you working on yourself, you doing all that shit, you sharpening your own iron, then when something good come along, a man come along, you're able to receive it, but you're also smart enough to know if it's really of your standard. Yeah. I'm done. Amen. Well, come on. Can we get an amen? Sometimes just be look. Enjoy, you got something to add.
Can you repeat the question? What's your takeaway between fantasy and reality?
Yeah, what you think?
I think I appreciate what everybody has brought and discussed, during this podcast and during this time, because I think it all makes sense.
And I have nothing to add.
No, I'm going to add this. Back to my experience, it comes down to you have to be a whole person.
You do.
And that's all I'm learning. I'm through all this dating and meeting people and, figuring it all out. I got to be a whole person. Yeah. I may fuck up along the way, and that's just what it is. Mm-hmm. But I don't want no more quarantine hobbies, so I have to date with intention. I have to date with intention and move with intention, and all of the new encounters and the new people that I'm going to meet, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's that on that. So I want y'all all to give yourselves a round of applause. An awesome episode at the great conclusion of season 3. I think this season has been amazing. We have talked about some awesome topics. We have talked to some great people. We have made some great progress. I think if you're listening to this episode, if you've missed anything, go back to the last 20 so you can pick up from where it was. But we do appreciate you. We appreciate everybody who's in the room right now. Your opinions are always valued and appreciated. And I'm just looking forward to season 4, and I think I'll get more into this message when I do with my Montana Minute in a few minutes from now. But for now, again, thank you all. I appreciate you all, and this wraps up season 4. So I think it needs another round of applause for season 3. Season 4. We get ahead of ourselves. Season 3. Look, we're speaking things into fruition. We're gonna be celebrating season 4. We will in no time. It flies by when you're having fun. But on that note, we'll be right back with the Montana Minute. And now this brings us to the Montana Minute. The first thing, let's make sure we are thinking a little deeper and a little longer when it comes to the questions we are asking to get to know potential partners. Thanks to this episode, we know better and we must now do better. The next thing, be honest with yourself on a regular basis. If what you truly desire and have asked for in a partner is not showing up in the way you desire, don't excuse it. We aren't saying be dismissive of everything, but be real with yourself and who you are dealing with. And the last thing, Thank you all so very much for rocking with your girl in this podcast for a full 3 seasons. You all make it worth my while every Monday, and it is truly a blessing to do something that I am so passionate about every single week. So while I could never say it enough, I want to say it again. Every listener and every supporter of this show is so valued and appreciated. So thank you, and thank you again. Signing off until season 4 this fall, yours truly, Shanna Montana.